Hey guys, thanks for stopping in here. We just did a diecast review on this Kevin Harvick 2022 gear wrench car, and halfway through the diecast review, I noticed that the windshield was popped out in one corner, preventing the hood from opening, and so I am going to go ahead and attempt to fix this, and I thought I'd do a video so you guys can watch along, and if you ever have this go on your own personal stuff, you will know what to do. So these ARC cars, this is an ARC, these ARCs have just strictly this plastic underbody, and they've got 6 screws. They got 2 in the middle here, 2 in the front that you just saw me take out, and 2 in the rear. The rears are they're not really tricky to take out, but they're kind of tricky to put back in sometimes. So we'll look at that here in a minute. These rears are clear down in behind the rear tires. So we'll pop these out. Put my camera there. Take these out, and these, along with the Elites, they all come apart pretty easily now. There's no steering linkage or anything on these anymore that hinders any of the disassembly process. So we should, if I got all my screws out, something acts like it's holding on there. Sometimes the middle ones, they feel like they're out. There it goes. Feel like they're out and they're not quite out. So here I'm gonna lightly tap. We still got a couple stragglers. I like to just make sure, get them all out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and put these somewhere safe because they are itty bitty little screws, and it doesn't take much to lose them. So there's the ARC chassis. Nothing in the back here because we obviously don't have an opening deck lid, but the front is not really a whole lot different than the Elite. The Elite doesn't have this plastic block of an engine in there, but other than that, the cockpit and everything else is not much more detailed on a Elite than this. So anyway, so to take a look at the inside of this, and I probably could have just popped this back in, but I didn't know for sure how these worked. You can see on this side, there's like I'll point to it with the screwdriver. There's like a little rib here that holds that piece. There's like a tab on the windshield. And all we got going on here is that little rib is not in underneath the rib on the actual diecast body. There it goes. So we just pop that in. If you can kind of see that, it's kind of hard to see, but this tab right here on the windshield needs to pop in behind this tab on the body, and it wasn't. It was popped out. So what happened was that was popped out, and then when you go to open the hood, it would hit right here because that was popped out. Well, now we can open the hood with no problem. So that's all it takes. But it was kind of a tricky thing. You needed to actually have fingers on both sides of the windshield there. So had to take it apart quick. Like I was saying, no big deal with with taking these apart. They're pretty easy. No steering linkages or fuel fillers or anything to hook up like there was on the old school stuff. So you can get the body and chassis put back together here. And this should, I believe, if I can get it to pop back in. Sometimes opening the hood helps to clear the hinges. Well, now it's going to be a bugger since you guys are watching. What do we got going on here? Looks like these screw bungs are not lining up perfectly. What the heck? Let's see. Well, back wants to go. The middle. I think what's happening is the dash is hanging up on the hood hinges a little bit, and it's giving me a little bit of trouble there. I think, there we go. Pop back in. Don't force anything, guys, when you're putting these back together. If it's not going perfectly, it's because there's something hanging up, and you don't want to force anything, especially you don't want to force anything past those hinges, the hood hinges. Any slight little tweak and the hood will not close properly. It'll look like crap. So be really careful putting these back together. They do fit together. There's no forcing needed. Sometimes it feels like you need to force something because they just don't want to go, but don't force it. Wiggle it around. It'll, sooner or later, whatever needs to be in place will come into place, and it'll just drop right in. So just give it a little bit of patience, and you'll get it. So okay, got the front and middle screws in. Now these back screws, sometimes just a sec here, I'm gonna grab a tweezers. Sometimes I'll take a tweezers, and if you can see this here, I will drop the screw down in there, get my screwdriver, and these precision screwdrivers, you guys, are an absolute necessity if you're ever going to take any die-cast cars apart. You don't want to use your normal set of Craftsman screwdrivers. Granted, this is a Craftsman, but it's a it's a precision screwdriver. These screws are just way too small to be messing with a big screwdriver. Anyway, we'll take this last one. If I got any luck, get it. There it goes. Get it started in its hole, and make sure it's not cross-threaded. Goes right in. So, yeah. Anyway, that was a pretty simple fix, you guys. If you ever run into anything like that, I've had a couple of the Xfinity cars that have come in with the back window missing. They've fallen out, and all that amounts to is you pull them apart. They've got like 3 pegs, one on the back and one on each corner here, that on the inside they take like a hot iron or something and they melt that tab, and so it makes like a mushroom end and holds it in the car. Well, sometimes they don't get those melded quite right, or they melt and they like melt off the wrong way, so it doesn't make a good rivet mushroom type end to hold it in there, and you'll get a car and the window will be laying in the bottom of the box. No big deal. If you pull it apart like this one, take the screws out, pull it apart, and get you some of this Testors Clear Parts Cement and Window Maker, it says. This stuff dries 100% clear, does not make the windows foggy like super glue does. Do not use super glue on windows. It will end up fogging the glass up around where you glued it. So but yeah, you flip the car over, take the underbody out, flip the car over, and just put the window in, hold it in, hit it with a dab of this glue from the inside, and then a lot of times what I'll do is I'll just set it on its side, whatever way gravity will hold the glass in, let it sit for a couple hours, and you're good to go. So anyway, that's all I got on this one, guys. Just thought it was a cool opportunity to show you a quick fix on something, so that you know, if you ever have something like this go on, you can fix it quick at home and don't have to go through the process of sending it back to Lionel and getting another one with another issue potentially. So anyway, thanks, guys.